Hello guys, welcome to this video. This one is paper 2-2 of October-November 2018 of Add Math paper 2. Now let's move on to question number 1. So we have to solve the inequality, as you can see, for this one. So first step is to always expand this and simplify, right? So here you will have x squared plus 4x minus 3x minus 12 is more than x plus 13. Now let's send everything to one side. You will have x squared plus 4x minus 3x minus x minus 12 minus 13 is more than 0. Now simplify x squared. So we have 4 minus 3 minus 1, that should be 0, minus 25 is more than 0. So now we have this inequality. So the first step is to find the critical values by equating this equation to 0. So x has to be plus minus of 25, that will be plus minus of 5. Okay, that will be your values of x. Now that will be the critical values of x, so now you have to look back at your graph. Since here we have positive 1, the graph will look something like this. Okay, so this will be your critical values. This one is minus 5, this one is 5. So here we're looking for, this is 0, looking for more than 0. Now for it to be more than 0, as you can see from this graph, it has to be on this side and on this side. Well, x is less than minus 5 and x is more than 5. Okay, so that will be your question number 1. Now for part 2, we have a Venn diagram with the set F and C. They intersect together. Now let's see what is the question. There are 105 boys in a year group. So in total we have 105 people. Some boys play football and some play cricket. Okay. Now X boys play both, so X is in between, right? Now the number of boys that play neither game is the same as the number of boys that play both. So same will be X right outside who plays neither games. 40 boys play cricket, so 40 boys play cricket. So how many boys play only cricket? So 40 minus X. And then we have the number of boys that play only football is twice the number of boys that play only cricket. That will be twice is 80 minus 2x, so 2 times this. Now finally, complete the Venn diagram to find the value of x. So pretty easy. We have to use that and that. We know that everything together has to give you 105. So let's solve for the value of x. So you will have 80 minus 2x plus x plus 40 minus x plus x is equal to 105. Now this one will cancel out. And here you will have 80 plus 40, that is 120, minus x is equal to 105. So x is equal to 120 minus 105, and that will be 15. So your value of x will be 15. And that is your question number 2. Okay, now let's move on to question number 3. The curve have equation y. Find first one dy by dx. So you observe this one is a fraction, so you have to use your quotient rule, right? So dy by dx, the first step is to write the denominator as it is, then multiply by d by dx of this one, it will become 3x squared. Then minus, you write the numerator as it is, then dy by dx of the base, it will be cos 2x times 2. Now everything we have to divide by the square of the base. That will be sine square 2x. Now you can simplify if you want to see what happens. So you will have 3x squared sine 2x minus 2x cubed cos 2x. Everything divided by this one, sine square 2x. Now for part 2, we have to find the equation of the tangent to the curve at this point. So to find equation, as you know by now, we first have to find the gradient of tangent, which is dy by dx at the point where x equal to pi by 4. So replace this back in your equation to see what happens. So you must have 3 pi by 4 square sine of 2 pi by 4 minus 2 pi by 4 cube cos of 2 pi by 4 divided by sine square of 2 pi by 4. Now let's see what does that simplify to, okay? So you will have 3, now be pi square over 16, and what is this? So let's use radians. Sine of 2 times pi by 4, that is 1, minus 2 times pi over, what is 4 power 3? That should be 64, times this one. So what is cos of 2 times pi by 4? That will be 0, so that will become 0, divided by, so sine of 2 times pi by 4 should be 1, square should be 1, the base is 1. Now if you simplify, that should be 3 pi square over 16. That will be the gradient of the tangent. Now since you know the gradient, we have to find we know x is pi by 4. What is your value of y? Replace this back in your main equation. So y is equal to pi by 4 cube divided by sine 2 times pi by 4. That will be over 1. This will become pi cube over 64. That will be pi cube over 64. That is your x and y. So finally, using that point, you can find your equation. So y minus pi cube over 64 equal to 3 pi square over 16 times x minus pi by 4. Okay, so you can leave the answer just like this. It is enough for your marks. That will be your equation of your tangent at this point. That will be your question number 3. Now let's move on to question number 4. We have to solve this equation. So whenever you see power, the x is on top, you have to use ln or log. You can choose either way. So you have to apply ln on both sides or log on both sides. You will have this. Now next step, we have to send this one to the beginning. You will have 3x minus 1 times ln 2 ln 6. So now you can solve, we can try to simplify. So 3x minus 1 is equal to ln 6 over ln 2. So 3x is equal to ln 6 divided by ln 2 plus 1. And finally, x will be all this thing divided by 3, right? Everything. So here it doesn't say your answer needs to be exact. You can also provide it has decimal place. So ln of 6 divided by ln of 2 plus 1 divided by 3. So you can write 1.19 correct to 3SF. That will be part 1. Now for part 2, we have to solve this one. Now what is the first thing you see is that we have different base, right? It's not the same base. So what can we do in that case? We have to try to play with the numbers and see what happens. So here we have log of 3. We have y plus 14 equal to 1. 1 is what? 1 is just log of 3 to 3. Now plus 2, 2 is 2, over, so you can change this one to log of base 3 as well. So log of y3 is equal to log of base 3 to 3 divided by log of base 3 to y. Let's write this down. In this you will have log of base 3 to 3 divided by log of 3 to y. Now if you simplify, you will have on one side you have log 3 y plus 14 equal to log of 3 to 3 plus, so when you divide you can always multiply, you have to flip the other side upside down. So just to explain, when you have A divided by B plus divided by C, you can write this down as A multiplied by C over B. So same thing happens here. That will be 2 multiplied by log 3y over log 3 of 3. So now log 3 of 3 is just equal to 1. So you will have log base of 3 y plus 14 equal to log of 3 plus log of 3y. Here we have 2, we can send 2 up here for the power. Now let's combine these two together. You will have log of base 3 y plus 14, you will have log 3. So when you have plus, you have to multiply, you will have 3y squared. Now we have log 3 on both sides, we can cancel out. You will have this equation, which is 3y squared minus y minus 14 is equal to 0. Let's solve for the value of y. So brackets, you have 3y times y. 14 is what? It could be 2 times 7. To get minus 1, you have to have minus 7 plus 6. So y will be 7 over 3. Y can be equal to minus 2. Okay, so that will be, this one will be your answer for the positive value of y. Y can be 7 over 3. Okay, and that will be your question number 4. Now let's move on to question number 5. Solve the simultaneous equation. So we have to rewrite these down into a form where we can solve this properly, right? It looks kind of complicated to solve this. So if you observe, what is 8? 8 is 2 power 3. What is 4? 4 is 2 power 2. Now if you were to replace these back in the equation, you will have what? You will have 2 3p plus 3 divided by 2q equal to 2 power 11. Now when you divide indices, you can combine them together. So you have top is 3p plus 3. When you divide, you can just minus 2q equal to 211. Now since the base are the same, you can cancel out. You will have 3p plus 3 minus 2q is equal to 11. So simplify, you will have 3p minus 2q is equal to 11 minus 3. That should be 8. That is equation number 1. Now for this one, if you observe, same thing. 27 is 3 power 3. 9 is 3 power 2. Now replace, on top you will have 2p plus 5 divided by 3 power 3 times this, that will be 1 equal to 6q. Now simplify, that will be 2p plus 5 minus 1. So when you divide, the indices will be going up as minus 1. That will be 6q. Now since the base are the same, I can cancel out. You will have 2p plus 4 equal to 6q. Now simplify, 2p minus 6q equal to minus 4. Divide by 2 everywhere, you will have p minus 3q equal to minus 2. That is equation number 2. Now we can make p the subject of formula for this one. So p will be minus 2 plus 3q. Now replace p in this equation. So here you will have 3 times p, which is minus 2 plus 3q minus 2q is equal to 8. That will be minus 6 plus 9q minus 2q equal to 8. That will be 7q equal to 8 plus 6, which is 14. So q will be 14 divided by 7, which is 2. Now what is the value of p? P will be minus 2 plus 3 times q, which is 2. which is minus 2 plus 6. That will be 4. So your answer is the value of P will be 4 and Q will be 2. And that will be your question number 5. Now let's move on to question number 6. A 5-character code, so we have to form a 5-character code, is to be formed from 13 characters. Okay, shown below. We have A, B, C, D, E, F, and then we have 1 to 7. Okay, so each character may be used only once. So find the number of different codes in which no 2 letters follows each other and no 2 numbers follow each other. So let's see how is that possible. Okay, so they have to be separate to each other. So here I have we have to form a 5-number code. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now let's say if I begin with a letter. For example, I can have 5 choices by beginning with a letter. Okay, now the next one has to be a number, so that will be 7 choices. Then afterwards I will need to have a letter as well. Let's say I choose, so A is gone, I can cut off A. You will have, so we have, sorry, it was 6 before, my bad. It would have to be 5 now. Now let's choose B, for example. B is gone, 1 is gone already. Now this one has to be a number because we cannot put 2 after each other. So number will be what? Let's say we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 choices available. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6, 5, so this will be 1, 2, 6. Let's say we choose 2. And the next one has to be a letter. So let's say I have 4 choices. Let's say I choose C. Now that is one case if you begin with a letter. Now second case, so let's find this first. How do you get that? 6 times 7 times 5 times 6 times 4. That should be 50, 40. Now second case is, what if you begin with a number, right? So we have another case now. If you were to begin with a number, you will have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 choices. Let's say I choose 1. And then I will have to choose a letter afterwards. We will have 6 choices. Let me choose A. Then I will have 6 choices. Let me choose 2. I will have 5 choices. Let me choose B. Now I will have 5 choices. Let me choose number here 3. So this will be the number of ways if you begin with a number. So 7 times 6 times 6 times 5 times 5. That should be 6300. Now add those two together for your total number of ways. That should be 11340 as your answer. So looking at these two cases separately, you will find the number of possible codes that you can find based on the condition. Okay, so let's move on to part B of this question. So a netball team of 7 players is to be chosen from 10 girls. So we have 10 girls in total. Now 3 of these girls are sisters, so it can be broken down into 2 parts. We have 3 sisters and 7 girls. Okay, so find the number of different ways the team can be chosen if the team does not contain all the 3 sisters. So basically we have to choose 7 people, and now we have to choose a team where we don't have all the 3 sisters. So what are the possible options? Let's see. Here we have sisters and here we have girls. So we can choose 1 sister. We can choose 0 sisters, right? That is one option. And we can choose 7 girls. 1 sister, 6 girls, 2 sisters, and 5 girls. So that is the possible option. We cannot choose 3 sisters. So let's see how many ways we have of doing this. So from the 3 sisters, choose 0 times 7, choose 7, or it can be 3 choose 1 times 7 choose 6, or 3 choose 2 times 7 choose 5. Let's see what we get. So 3 choose 0 times 7 choose 7 plus 3 choose 1 times 7 choose 6 plus 3 choose 2 times 7, choose 5. That should be 85. So 85 will be your answer for part B of question number 6. Now, what is the other way of doing this question? The other way is we can take the total number of girls, total number of selection, minus the team where we have all the 3 sisters that we don't need, right? So that could be, total selection could be what? From the 10 girls, we choose 7 girls. Minus the team which has the 3 sisters, it will be from 3 we choose 3. And from the 7 remaining, you have to choose 4. So let's do that. So 10 choose 7 minus 3 choose 3 times 7 choose 4. That will be 85 as well. So as you can see, we have 2 ways of finding the answer for the same answer. And that will be your question number 6. Solve the quad equation, giving your answer in this form. So as you can see, we can find the values of, let's do our formula first. So A can be 1 minus root 3, B is 1, and C will be 1 plus root 3. Now using your equation to solve this, you will say x is equal to minus b plus minus root of b squared minus 4 times a and times c divided by 2a. Now let's simplify one by one. What is this times this? Let's see. So 1 minus root 3 times 1 plus root 3. This looks the same as a minus b times a plus b. So that is a squared minus b squared. So same way, that will be 1 squared minus root 3 squared. 1 minus 3, that should be minus 2. So going back to your main equation, you will have x is equal to minus 1 plus minus 1. That will be minus 4. You have minus 4 times minus 2. Be plus 8 over 2. This simplify, that should be minus 1 plus minus root of 9 should be 3 over 2 times 1 minus root 3. So here you can see we have 2 possible options, as you can see, but we are only looking for one answer, which is a plus b root this one. So let's do that. So x can be minus 1 plus 3 over 2 plus 2, so minus this, or it can be minus 3 over 2 minus 2 with this. So let's simplify again. X can be what? So minus 1 plus 2, 3, that should be 2. You can divide by 2, you have 1 over 2 minus 2 root 3. Or it can be minus 2 over, 1 minus root 3. The 2 should go away, okay? It should be 1, 1. So just to explain again, so for this one, let me do this over this side. So minus 1 plus 3, that is 2 over 2, 1 minus root 3. That should go away. So you should have 1 over 1 minus root 3 for this one. And for this one, same thing as well. It is minus 4 over 1 minus root 3. That should be minus 2. So minus 2 over 1 minus root 3. So this should be this. Now to simplify this, we have to multiply by this conjugate. That will be 1 plus root 3. 1 plus root 3. Same thing for this one. 1 plus root 3. 1 plus root 3. Now for this one, you will get 1 plus root 3 divided by, as you have seen, when you multiply these two, you get minus 2 divided by minus 2. This one you will get minus 2, 1 plus root 3 over minus 2. So for this one, your answer looks like this. It looks like minus half root 3. This one will be cancel out. It will be 1 plus root 3. Okay, 1 times root 3. Okay, we have to show the left hand side equal to the right hand side. As always, begin with the left hand side and do step by step. So the first thing you see is that it is two fractions with different bases. What do? You have to find the LCM. So in this case, the LCM is just multiplying them by each other. That'll be 1 plus sine x. Now we have to cross multiply. You will have 1 plus sine x minus 1 minus sine x. That should be, if you expand, that is 1 plus sine x minus 1 plus sine x. Divide by, if you expand this, that is 1 square minus sine square. Now that is equal to, this one goes away, so you will have 2 sine x over 1 minus sine square x. 2 sine x over cos square x. Now you can simplify, that is 2 sine x over cos x times 1 over cos x. That is equal to 2 tan x and 1 over cos, it is sec x. This is shown as required for part 1. Now for part 2, using this, hence means using part 1, we have to solve this equation. So let's replace this. So you will have 2 tan x sec x is equal to cosec x. So how would you solve this? So first, let's break it down into the simple as possible. You will have 2 sine x over cosec square x, as you can see here, right? This is this, equal to 1 over sine square x. Now you can cross multiply. You will have what? You will have 2 sine square x over cos square x equal to 1. Now this will give you 2 tan square x equal to 1. So tan square x equal to half. From this you will have two values. Tan x is equal to plus minus root of half. Okay, so let's take one by one. Now tan x can be minus this, or it can be plus half. Now let's do this one first. Now when tan is negative, it has to be in your second quadrant and your fourth quadrant. This is 180 minus theta. This is 360 minus theta. Now first find the value of theta. Theta is tan inverse of the positive value of this. So root of 0.5, tan inverse of that, let's use degrees, should be 35.3. So let's do it again. So tan inverse of root of 0.5, 35.3. So theta is 35.3, but your value of x should be, first one is 180 minus theta, so 180 minus 35.3, that is 144.7, and then should be this one, 360 minus theta 35.3, 324.7. Now going back to this one, if tan is positive, it has to be in your first quadrant and then your third quadrant. That will be 180 plus theta. Now theta is already the positive value, tan inverse of plus this, which is equal to 35.3. So x has to equal to the one on the graph. So first one is theta 35.3 and then 180 plus theta 35.3, that should be 324.7. So let me check again. So 360 minus 35.3, same value, and 180 plus 35.3, not same value. See, that's a mistake here. That should be 215.3. So now finally you have four values of x, which is possible. First one is 35.3, then we have 144.7, then we have 215.3, and then 324.7. So 4 values of x for which we satisfy this equation. Now let's move on to question number 9. So the diagram shows part of the curve y, okay? The normal to the curve, it said the normal to the curve at the point A, this is the normal to the curve, okay? Meets the x-axis at the point B. So part 1, find the equation of the line AB. Okay, so to find that, we can first find the gradient of this line. So how do you find gradient of normal? You must first find the gradient of tangent. Okay, let's do that. So this is just dy by dx at the point of A. So what is dy by dx? Now if you look at y can also be written as y equal to 2x half. So dy by dx will be half times 2 minus half. That will be cancelled out. You will have 1 over root of x. So we have to find dy by dx at A is x is equal to 4. That will be 1 over root of 4, which is 1 over 2. Now since we know the gradient of tangent, from this we can find the gradient of normal. That should be minus 2. Now since we know the gradient, since we know a passing point, we can find the equation of AB. So equation will be y minus 4 over x minus 4 equal to minus 2. Cross multiply, you will have y minus 4 equal to minus 2x plus 8. So y is equal to minus 2x plus 12. And that is your equation of the line AB, which is the normal of the curve at this point. Now for part B, find the coordinates of B. So where is the coordinates of B? As you can see, it is where the line meets the x-axis. So we have the equation already. As you guys know, at x-axis, the value of has to be 0. Replace, you will have 0 is equal to minus 2x plus 12. So 2x will be 12, x will be 6. So the point B is 6, 0. Now let's move on to part 3 of this question. It says, showing all your working, find the area of the shaded region. So in the question, this is your region that has been shaded, right? Okay. So what can we do here is we can break this down into 2 parts. We can draw a line here. Okay. This is the point what? This is the point 4. We know B, this is 6. This is 6. So we know the height is 4 as well. So we can find this area into 2 parts. Let's call this one A, and let's call this one area of B. Now what is the area of B? If you observe, area of B is simply area of a triangle, half times base, which is 2, and times height, which is 4. That should be 4 units square for area of B. Now what is the area of A? Area of A is area below the curve between 0 and 4 for this curve. So let's do that. So here we know A is just area of triangle, which is equal to 4 units. Now we have to find the area of B. B has to be integration because it is area under the curve between 4 and 0. That will be 2x power half dx. That will be 2x plus 1. That will be this 3 over 2 between the range of 4 and 0. Now simplify, you will have 4 over 3 x power 3 over 2 between the limits of 4 and 0. Now first one is 4 over 3, 3 over 2, and this will be minus 0. Now let's solve this. So 4 power 3 divided by 2, that should be 8. So we have 8 times 4 is 32 over 3 minus 0. That will be 32 over 3. Now from this, as you have seen, the area of your region is just, the shaded area is a plus b. A will be 4 plus b, which is 32 over 3. So 32 over 3 plus 4, that should be 14 2 over 3 units square. Okay, so that will be your answer for part 3 of this question number 9. Now let's move on to question number 10. We have two lines are tangent to the curve this. Okay, so two lines are tangent to the curve of this. Okay, that's the first part. Find the equation of each tangent of the form this, where k is a constant. So part 1, find the two possible values of k. So how do you find, first is, you know that this, we have two tangents, two lines are tangents to this curve. We have the equation of the curve. We have to the equation of each tangent is in the form of this. Here we have y, and here we have y. So we have to solve simultaneously to see what is the possible values of k. So let's do that. We have 2k plus 1 minus kx on one side equal to 2 minus 4x minus x squared. Now you see it says 2, it means that they meet at 2 points, right? So basically b squared minus 4ac has to be more than 0. That's the main equation we need to form. Now let's bring everything to one side. Let's see what do we have. So here you will have x squared minus plus 4x minus 12. Then you will have minus kx plus 2k plus 1 equal to 0. That will be x squared. Now let's group the x together. That will be plus 4 minus k x, and you have 2k minus 11 equal to 0. So the value of a is 1, the value of b is 4 minus k, c will be 2k minus 11. So we have to use b squared minus 4ac has to be more than 0. So b squared is this, 4 minus k squared minus 4 times a times c is 2k minus 11 more than 0. Let's simplify this. That will be 16 minus 8k plus k squared minus 8k plus 44 is more than 0. Simplify again, you will have k squared minus 16k plus this should be what? 44 plus 16. That should be 60 more than 0. So now we have to use this equation to find the critical values of k. So k squared minus this plus 60 is equal to 0. So let's see what happens here. So you will have bracket k. Oh, I see. So I made a mistake here, because whenever you have a tangent, it means that it meets at one point. It has to be equal to 0, not bigger than, because the one tangent meets at 1 point, not at 2 points. Sorry. So that has to be equal to 0, not more than equal to 0. And that's the only mistake I made here. So write this down, equal to 0. The reason why again is because when it is tangent to a curve, it means that it meets at only 1 point. So since we have two lines, so it means that the two lines meets at 1 point, meeting at 1 point. So if it meets at 1 point on the line, means that we have to have b squared minus 4ac equal to 0. That is for what we need to use, not more than, okay? So 60 is what? 60 is 10 times 6. So that will be this, and this is 0. So k is 6, and k needs to be 10. So that is your answer for the two possible values of k. K can be 6, and k can be 10. Now for part 2, it says we have to find the coordinates of the point of intersection of the two tangents. So the equation was given by 2k plus 1 minus kx. Now for k is equal to 6, your y will be equal to 6 times k will be 12. 12 plus 1 is 13 minus 6x, sorry. That is the first equation. Now for k is equal to 10, your y will be 21 minus 10x. That is your equation number 2. Now replace those two, see what happens. This and this, you will have 13 minus 6x is equal to 21 minus 10x. We send this one over here, you will have 4x, 21 minus 13. So 21 minus 13 should be 8. So x will be 8 divided by 4, that should be 2. Okay, so what is the value of y? Y should be 21 minus 10 times 2, that is 21 minus 20, that should be 1. So the point of intersection is 2, 1. That is your answer for part 2 of question number 10. Now let's move on to question number 11. The functions f and g are defined for the real values for x more than 1. Now part 1 is to find g of f of x. So let's do that. So replace the value of x by f of x in g. That will be 2 f of x plus 1 over 3 f of x minus 1. That is 2 times this will be 8x minus 6 plus 1 over 3 times this will be 12x minus 9 minus 1. That should be 8x minus 5 over 12x minus 10. That will be your answer for part 1. Now for part 2 we have to find the inverse of g. So first step is to let y equal to g of x, which is 2x plus 1 over 3x minus 1. Then we have to cross multiply. You will have 3xy minus y equal to 2x plus 1. Now we have to make x become the subject of formula. 3xy minus 2x is 1 plus y. Factorize x, you will have 3y minus 2 is equal to 1 plus y. So finally x is equal to 1 plus y over 3y minus 2. So express g inverse in terms of x, you will have 1 plus x over 3x minus 2. That is for part 2. Now for part 3 we have to solve this equation. What is f of g of x? So let's do that. F of x is 4x, x is g of x now, that will be 2x minus plus 1, sorry, over 3x minus 1 minus 3 is equal to x minus 3, sorry, minus 1. Now that will become, so you can bring this here, you will have 8x plus 4, that is the first step, and you have 3x minus 1 is equal to x, so minus 1 plus 3, that is plus 2. We can cross multiply. You will have 8x plus 4 is equal to x plus 2 multiplied by 3x minus 1. So we have to simplify this side. Let's see what happens. You will have 3x squared minus x plus 6x minus 2. Now send everything to one side. You will have 3x squared. That will be plus 5 minus 8 minus 3. Minus 2 minus 4 is minus 6 equal to 0. Now divide by 3 everywhere. You will have x squared minus x minus 2 is equal to 0. Now factorize. That is x times x. 2 is 2 times 1. To get minus 1, have to have minus 2 plus 1. So x is equal to minus 1. X can be equal to 2. But as you can see, the values is only valid for more than 1. So x can only be 2. Okay, that will be your question number 11. Now let's move on to question number 12. So here we have a plane can travel at 260 km/h in still air, heads due north. So pretty easy. Let's say the plane is at this position. It's going north at the speed of 260. So let's write down 260 with this north line. Now a wind with a speed of 40 km per hour from a bearing of 310. So how do you find a bearing? We have to use this north line to find the bearing of 310. So this is, I'll just continue this line. This is your east and west. Now a bearing of 310 will start here. That will be 90, 180, 270, and 310 will be about here. Will be about in this direction. Now it is from this direction, so it has to be going downwards. Right. Now if this is 310, this whole thing is 310, what is this angle here? Has to be 360 minus 310, that should be 50. Now where is the resulting force? So pretty easy. Let's think, if your plane is going in this direction, there's a wind in this direction, so your plane will be pushed about this direction, right? So let's draw a line to show that the plane will be resulting in this direction. Now of course you can move this line to this line to show where it is acting. It will be acting in this direction. Okay, that is the 40 line, 40 km per hour, and this is your resulting force, which is in the red line. So we have to find this value for the red line. So now you have to check is, since we have this and this line is parallel, this is 50, this angle would also be the same as this angle for your alternate angles. This is also 50. So step number 1 is to find the value of r. Since we know these two sides, we know the angle in between, we can use cosine rule to find the value of r. So cosine of 50 degrees is equal to 40 square plus 260 square minus r square over 2 times 40 times 260. Now we have to make r become the subject of formula. So you have r square is equal to, so what is 2 times 40 times 260? Let's find that out. 2 times 40 times 260, that should be 20800 cos of 50. So that will be this side, and we have to send this over here, become minus. So it will become plus 40 square plus 260 square. So r square is what? Let's see. Minus 2800 cos 50 plus 40 square plus 260 square. That should be 55830. Keep going on. Now the value of r will be square root of that. That should be 236.2837. But now you will write your value of r in 3SF, right? So the resulting speed is 236 km per hour. Okay. Now the next question is to find the direction as a bearing correct to 1 decimal place. Bearing is found from the north line, so we have to find this angle theta. Now you look at this triangle, we know this, we know this angle, we know this, we have to find this angle, we have to use your sine rule. So sine of the angle theta will be opposite of 40, so you write 40 is equal to sine of 50 over the side r. So 50 r, right, will be 236.2837. Now to find sine theta, we have to send this over here. That becomes 40 sine of 50 divided by 236.2837. So let's find out. 40 sine of 50 divided by answer, that will be 0.12968. So theta will be sine inverse of 0.12968. That should be 7.45. 7.45. And now you have to provide your answer correct to 1 decimal place. So your bearing theta will be 7.5 degrees. Okay, so that will be the answer for your last question, with the resultant speed equal to this and your bearing equal to this correct to 1 decimal place. So I hope that was somewhat helpful. If you find this video helpful, don't forget to like and subscribe. As always, thank you for watching. I will see you soon.